Guten Tag zusammen. Hi everybody. Today we are going to be looking at adjective endings in context in German. We've done this already with the nominative and accusative case earlier in the school year. But today we are going to be looking at it in all three cases, the nominative, the accusative, and the dative case, and how we determine what those endings are. If we look at the next slide, we see at the bottom of the page here, we have the chart that we normally see in our classroom. On this chart, we can find our definite articles. That's how we say the in German. Risi, nisi, murmen, der, die, das, die, das, die, dem, der, dem, den. For the nominative, accusative, and dative cases for each of the forms, masculine, feminine, neuter, and plural. We also see our exi, nexi, murmen chart on there. Those are our indefinite articles, how we say a in German. We have eine, keine, einen, eine, keine, einem, einer, einem, keinen. And then we also see, following each of these articles, we have what the adjective ending would be if an adjective came after each of those articles. So if we look at the examples that we have up above, in these example sentences we have adjectives in each of those sentences. Adjectives in German, if they have a noun that comes after them that they describe, will take an adjective ending. So in the first sentence, das ist ein frisches Sandwich. That is a fresh sandwich. The fresh sandwich is our predicate nominative. Das is our subject. And the thing in the predicate that is the equivalent of what our subject is our predicate nominative. So that is nominative, sandwich is neuter. And so when we look down on this chart here, we see nominative is here, and neuter is up here. And we look right here, and we see how we would say the fresh sandwich and a fresh sandwich. Right up there we have a fresh sandwich, so it says ein with no ending, and then frisches Sandwich. So that's how we figured out that ending in that German sentence. In the next sentence, we have das Sandwich ist sehr frisch. We notice that after fresh, there is no noun. This is called a predicate adjective. It doesn't take an ending. Yes, fresh is describing the subject, das Sandwich, but since sandwich doesn't come after the adjective, it doesn't take an ending. In the next example, wir bestellen Getränke mit dem frischen Sandwich. We're ordering drinks with the fresh sandwich. We see that sandwich does come after our adjective, and this is part of a prepositional phrase, with the fresh sandwich. With is part of telling you about that fresh sandwich. So we know that it's dative because mit is a dative preposition. And we look at our dative and we look at our neuter and we see that we're in this box here. And it's with the fresh sandwich, not with a. So it's mit dem. And then we see our ending on frisch is en, frischen Sandwich. So we're going to be looking at these preceded adjectives, and we'll be talking a little bit later about unpreceded adjectives in German. Before we move on, though, I wanted us to look at the chart and see the patterns of how that the adjective endings follow on the chart. So we're going to mark up this chart a little bit. We can kind of just ignore the genitive case for now. So I'm just going to kind of put an X through it there. We'll learn about the genitive later. Next year in German. All right, some of the things that I want us to notice are that all of the plural adjective endings that come after a definite article or an indefinite article have what ending? They all have an en ending. So all of these adjective endings that come after these words all end in en. If we look at the dative case, all of your dative adjective endings have the same ending. What is that ending? Also en. And then there is one other that takes an en ending, which is your accusative masculine. Okay, so we get this little J pattern here. All of these take an en ending following a definite or an indefinite article. The rest of them basically take an e, except for any of the ones that have an X. So it does help us remember, since we have those X's on our exi, nexi, murmen chart, that these ones are special and they kind of stand out to us. Those ones don't take an E ending, but the rest of them do. Okay, so you kind of have this funny looking T/F here, okay? All of those will take an E ending. Now our X ones, the masculine takes a different one from the neuter one, but it does help us to remember what our definite article looks like. So here we have dear, and this ends in the same letter as in R. So for our X1 for the masculine nominative, that will end in ER. And for the neuter nominative, that will end in, just like the das ends in an S, that'll end in ES. And the same is true for the accusative form here. Okay, so that's just a quick recap of how we would be able to fill out this chart normally in the classroom. That would be a quiz for you guys to be able to do that, fill this out on your own. And normally we would also have a project that we would be doing with this where you guys would be creating your own menus. We are just doing examples because that's all we have time for with our limited 40-minute class periods now with no extra work outside of class. So let's get back to some examples. Make sure that we understand this concept and how to apply the adjective endings. We're going to look at some examples that follow der words now. So I have the chart down below here so that we can reference it as we do these. We see Händchen, which is neuter, and we see that this isn't part of a sentence, so it's not outside the context of a sentence. And when we have a noun that's outside the context of a sentence that stands by itself, we use the nominative case. So we're going to use the nominative case for this. It's like our subject. And we have neuter here, so we look at neuter nominative. So we're looking in this box here. We see that we want a definite article, so we're looking at the top part. And to figure out the endings there, we see das and an E. So it will say, das leckere Händchen. All right, let's try the next one. We have Kuchen, which is masculine, and this is nominative. So we're looking at nominative masculine on the chart here. And since we have a definite article, we're looking at the top one. So we get der süße Kuchen, the sweet cake. Let's try the next one. We have Erdbeeren, which are plural, strawberries. We have juicy strawberries here, the juicy strawberries. So we look over here at the plural, nominative, and we get die saftige Erdbeeren. How about this one? It's also nominative here. We have pizza, which is feminine. So we look right here on the chart, and we get die scharfe Pizza. Now this next one, we have the preposition mit before pizza. So we are going to be using the dative case. So we look at dative, and we look at feminine. And we are looking at this box here. And to figure out the ending, we just apply that to what we have up above. And mit der scharfen Pizza. Let's take a look at the next one. We have ohne, which is what type of preposition? Ohne is a accusative preposition. And we have Erdbeeren, which is plural. So we're looking at plural, accusative here. Right here. And we get ohne die saftigen Erdbeeren. Here's another one with the dative, because we have mit at the beginning. What will this one be? Händchen is neuter. So we get mit dem leckeren Händchen. Now let's move on to some ein-word examples. So those are with definite articles, these are with indefinite articles. Let's look at our first example. We have the same one before. Notice that we don't have ein before it, we have possessive adjectives. What follows the same endings as our ein words? Our tasty chicken. So let's figure that one out. We have neuter, nominative, we get, right here, unser, no ending, leckeres Händchen. Let's try another one. A sweet cake. Okay, so we know this is masculine, it is nominative, so we look masculine nominative, we get ein süßer Kuchen. Now what about this one? We have ohne that comes before it, which makes it accusative. So accusative, masculine, is going to be ohne einen süßen Kuchen, without a sweet cake. Now we have with our juicy strawberries. Mit is a dative preposition. So dative plural, mit unseren saftigen Erdbeeren. And Erdbeeren doesn't take an extra N on that noun because it already ends in N in the plural form. And now we have with a sharp or spicy pizza. So dative, feminine, mit einer scharfen Pizza. Okay, now we're moving on to unpreceded. Okay, this means that our adjective doesn't have a or the or any of those words that can take those endings that comes before it. These are special. These don't quite follow the same adjective endings that we have on that chart. But those endings that they follow are actually on the chart. So in this example, we have tasty chicken. We notice that there is no the or a that comes before it. This is neuter and this is nominative. Okay, so we're looking in this box right here. But instead of looking at the adjective endings that come after our definite and indefinite articles, we're looking at our definite article here. And we're just using that ending that we have on there. So the ending on our definite article is an S in this instance. And so the ending on lekker is going to be an ES. Leckeres Händchen. Let's try another one. All right, here we have Kuchen, which is masculine. Okay, it doesn't have an a or a the or any of those words that can take those endings. It is masculine nominative. So we're looking here. We are not looking at these adjective endings here because it is unpreceded. We're going to look at that green ending here on our definite article, and we're going to apply that ending to what we have up above, and we get süßer Kuchen. Let's try another one. Here we have juicy strawberries, also nominative. So we have nominative, plural. We're looking here. We're not looking at our normal adjective ending. This is our preceded adjective ending. This is unpreceded, so we look at our definite article, and we get the ending that's on here, and it's just saftige Erdbeeren. Now for this one, we have an unpreceded adjective with the dative case because the preposition mit comes before that adjective and noun. So we have dative, plural, and we're looking here, again, we are not looking at the normal preceded adjective endings, we are looking at our definite article to figure out this ending since it is unpreceded. And we end up getting mit saftigen Erdbeeren. How about this one? Ohne is accusative, so the ending on this will be süßen Kuchen, because that is accusative, masculine, and we're looking at our definite article ending. How about this one? With spicy pizza. Pizza's feminine, but here it's dative because of mit, so we get feminine, dative, we're looking in this box, and we get mit scharfer Pizza. Alright, now we're going to kind of mix them all up with all the cases and all the different types of preceded and unpreceded adjective endings. So, figure out the ending. Mit süßem Kuchen. Alright, figure out the ending. Mit unserem leckeren Händchen. Figure out the ending. Ohne leckeres Händchen. That was unpreceded, so we're looking at das for that one. Also unpreceded here. Figure out the ending. Leckeres Händchen. How about this one? Ohne den süßen Kuchen. And this one? Unpreceded. Mit saftigen Erdbeeren. Just like den, definite article there. How about this one? Nominative, der süße Kuchen. And for this one, unpreceded here, mit scharf Pizza. And that's it. So that was a quick review of adjective endings in the nominative and accusative cases, and now adding on to that the dative case. Das ist alles. That's it.